Hello, I am Tara Nolan from Transformation Tara. Transformation coaching, really interesting to that I even have this terminology in the kind of coaching I do, transformative coaching. If you look at the word transformation, it really takes a being or from one form to a new form that can be completely unrecognizable. So I think the pandemic has done that to us. And it's March. It's been a year. Like maybe in a couple of weeks it'll be really a year, because I remember when I was leaving on a trip in March and I came back and my daughter and I had COVID, and we got it in Vail, Colorado. And then from seeing, we've all experienced quarantine, we've all experienced being in masks, but what's really powerful is I want to challenge you to look at the power in the changes that have been created in your own life. So some of them were induced, like pandemic induced, I'll call it, right? So how many of you thank you for joining. I see some people out there. So how many of you think that you were changed, and in what way? Leave a comment. Let's have a conversation like this. I'm here for you with my heart to really serve you today on what you can do to really get where you really want to be. Because I don't think there's a person out there that hasn't gone inward in a way they haven't before, to look at life in a different way, to say, how do I want to reinvent? What's my new normal? How do I want to reinvent myself? I mean, whether you did that or not, you're changed. Everyone has changed. It's so powerful. It's been an awakening for a lot of people. It's been an awakening for corporations to say, wow, people really can be more productive at home. And for many of us to say, I can actually get work done with my kids here. Maybe it's not the same. And family time really matters to me. Whatever it is, can you leave something in the chat, in the comments, please? And let me know, one good thing that came out of the pandemic for you, even though we're still in it and we have no idea how long it's going. But I think we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Well, I want to give you some tidbits today to really help. So let me know if you're here. Leave me a little smile or hello, and open up to me. I'm gonna open up to you. So what I've found that can be most powerful for people is that now that you have a different way of thinking, that this way of thinking couldn't have been possible if you wouldn't have had the experiences you had, right? So if you wouldn't have had the experience of the pandemic, maybe you wouldn't see that it's possible to, homeschool your kids or have work from home as much as you do, or exercise at home without going to gyms. There's all these things that come up. Okay, but here's the big one. It's where do you really want your life to be now? And what I've found is that we have put more emphasis, and I'm saying the word wrong, emphasis on helping others. We have grown we've recognized that we're more interconnected, right? And interdependent upon one another. And that's a beautiful thing. So I have found in my business, I've valued it maybe more than I ever have, because it is an opportunity for me to be out there and help others to look how they want to reinvent their lives, or start their soul calling business, or take the business they have and really pivot, directions to create a new structure, a new strategy, a new online presence, whatever it is. We've all had to pivot in some way, found different verticals to help. Yes, exactly. You find different ways to help different people that you couldn't have done before. We're not always meeting for coffee anymore, but we're meeting for Zoom. And then there's Zoom fatigue, which is a real thing, because you're so intensely focused. I know, because I do a lot of calls and I've had to restructure my days. So I'm going to give you a couple of tidbits today, more points yet that you can take with you. When you want to, about how to reinvent yourself to get where you want to go. So of course, the first step is clarity, and your mind was awakened to new ways to do that. So get clarity, and you're maybe still working through clarity, and it's okay. You don't have to have a perfectly clear vision. You have to take a step, take action in getting there, right? So, but if you really want to change to get there, Whatever you did that got you here won't get you there. And that's a big thing to realize. Like whatever you did that brought you this much success, this much life change that brought you here still won't get you there. Like it takes something new. And that is where a coach comes in, or a third party or a mentor often, because they see things from the outside that we can't see from the inside. We have the Art of Transformative Coaching coming up Thursday and Friday this week. There's still time to get in. You can still use my code LOVELIFE. It's transformationtarot.com/coaching course. And it is genuinely like life-changing for people. And it gives you the tools to help other people. It gives you the tools to help other people in a really powerful way, where you can become more of a coach versus a consultant, although there's value in both and there's time to use both. So I'm going to talk to you about how to do that over the course of those 2 days. So if you want to join in, there's still time and you still can save $300. So you can get the course for $197. Like so keep that in mind if you want to go deeper on this topic today, that I would love to spend those 2 days with you. But here's something that I'm going to tell you today. So you change your days. So you think, if I want to get to this vision, it starts with what you do all day long to set yourself up for success, right? So if you want to, and more structure in your life with how you live your day is what will give you more freedom in the end. And that's something I see a lot of my clients first, struggle with and then excel with. Because they first come in and say, well, and I work with some people that are into yoga as well and into, being a little free-spirited. And I also work with a lot of driven corporate success stories. But especially as yogis, we maybe came from corporate and got into yoga and we want to have like free and flowy. So myself, my clients, we've recognized the more that you have your day really structured out, scheduled out, the more you know when you're getting your workout in, when you are working on your taxes, when you are talking to clients, when you are walking the dog, like when you have time to just like sit down and meditate and get good with God, right? Like what it is that matters to you is what you schedule in your day. And how would that person that's that success story that you want, maybe it's a multiple 6-figure or 7-figure earner, how would they show up each day? And then you start to schedule your day accordingly. Or how would the person that lost 30 pounds, how would they show up each day? How would they structure their meals and their eating? With the person that's in a beautiful, romantic, connected relationship, how would they structure their day to make time for that, right? So whatever it is of what you want, where you want to go, it's really looking at how you show up, not like what's happening to you, but what you create in your life every day. So I want to talk to you about that. And then the second point I want to make today, so one is like how you change your days and you structure each day to create more freedom, to reinvent yourself in the new normal that you want to create. And then number 2, we hold with us a story that tells us what's possible and what's not. And the story often is very closely, intimately connected to your identity. And when you stay so attached, then you can't create a new identity. And again, it can't get you from here to there. So the power is in creating the new story before it's happened. So you've got old story, new story. And I find people get attached to the old story. My business isn't growing because of X. Maybe the new story is, I'm not relying on X anymore. I'm going to create Y, and my business is working. My relationship isn't working. What if the news story is, I have so much I can learn from the experiences in my relationship to allow it to flourish into, towards my dream relationship or whatever, towards the romance I'm really seeking and the love I really want. Or I tell myself a new story, like rather than he or she has to serve my needs this way, that I'm learning to serve my needs this way and give more to he or to this person, right? The reason I'm not losing weight is because of, I don't know, again, like whatever it is, like I don't have time in my day to saying, I love creating time in my day to make healthy meals and, get some exercise in, and it makes me feel amazing. Like it's really old story versus new story. Can anyone relate to this? Have you ever been in that? Like, I would urge you right now, like to write down in your journal or on a piece of paper, or like, I don't care if you put notes on your phone, like old story, new story. And then you start to tell yourself a new story of where you want to go and what can work for you. And it can really like open you up to what you're holding on to that is no longer serving you, that keeps you like stuck here. So we work with a lot of entrepreneurs and like self-employed professionals in my company in Transformation Terra. And to get them like to rise, to scale, like I call it scaling to soul calling success, because it's people that have a real a drive for more in life, like to make a difference, to have a purpose-driven reality, and live with intention. So in doing that, though, you can wake up to a new possibilities in how to rise and serve others more, and not like and become conscious of where you do like bottleneck yourself, right? So like trying to do it all, we bottleneck ourselves there. And not like a lot of my clients are not always, they come and they're still in the soulpreneur spot or something. And they, we really teach them how to delegate, how to hire, who they need to hire, where to invest first, how that, who you invest in can help bring you more revenue rather than take away. Because often we see it that way, right? So what's the story you're telling yourself? Oh, employees will cost too much, versus I'm going to tell myself a new story. I have employees so I can increase my revenue. So those are just a couple of tips from Tuesdays with Tara today. Thanks for tuning in. I don't have a lot more, but I really want to let you know that if you're interested in helping people, if you're interested in even helping yourself and opening up to new possibilities, and you're just interested in learning about yourself at a deeper level, having greater communication skills to speak and connect intimately, then join us. Join us this Thursday, Friday. Do whatever you have to do. Don't tell yourself the old story that I'm too busy, because that is what's going to continually stand in your way of not putting the time in for you to go in the direction of your dreams. So my rule is that if it aligns with your future ideal vision, then it's a must. Like there's not a maybe I can, maybe I can't. Then it's a must. Like if it sounds amazing to get there, then that is where you must go. So you make decisions that align accordingly. And everything else is easy from that point out to make your decisions. Does it align or does it not align with where you ultimately want to take your life and your business? So I hope those are some helpful tips for you. It was great to see you on here, John. I can't see who else is all here. Leave me some comments, even if you watch the replay. I'd like to see if this resonated with any of you, if it can create some kind of breakthrough, like where are you, what you're holding on to, the old story, the new story, or what you might create in your days to create the reality that you want with your new normal. So it's been a really intense, powerful, sometimes painful, often beautiful year of awakening. So I just want to honor that and say we can really look at the beauty of what this year brought us and let that be our new story, rather than holding on the old story of the hardships. Let's just embrace the new story of where this year has brought you and where it can still continue to bring you. So with that, I send you so much love, and thanks for being a part of this with me today, Tuesdays with Tara, and I will see you next week. Mwah.